Milo's ship shook violently as it entered the planet's atmosphere. Red flames licked the sides of the hull, and alarms blared inside the cockpit. Milo gritted his teeth and tried to steady the controls. He had trained for emergencies, but nothing had prepared him for this. With a final shudder, the ship crashed through the thick canopy of trees, smashing into the ground with a deafening crash. When Milo woke, he was lying among broken branches and scorched earth. His arm hurt badly, and his head throbbed. He tried to move, but pain shot through his body. The cockpit was destroyed, and his communications were gone. He was alone on an alien planet with strange red skies and glowing plants swaying in the wind. He struggled to stand, leaning on a jagged tree trunk. The forest around him was alive with soft hums and twinkles of light. The plants glowed faintly, pulsing like they had their own heartbeat. Milo's first thought was survival. He needed water, shelter, and medicine, but everything felt unfamiliar and dangerous. A sudden movement caught his eye. Among the glowing trees, a figure appeared. Milo froze. The figure was humanoid but taller than a human and with pale, translucent skin that shimmered slightly in the dim light. Its eyes were large and luminous, calm but curious. Milo's heart raced. "Are you hurt?" a soft voice asked. The voice was strange, musical, yet easy to understand. Milo swallowed hard and nodded. "Yes. My ship crashed. I don't know if I can walk." The figure stepped closer. "Do not worry. I can help you." The alien extended a slender hand. Milo hesitated, then accepted it. Immediately, warmth spread through his body. He felt a gentle pressure on his wounds, and pain began to fade. The alien was careful, almost as if reading his body, knowing exactly where he hurt. "My name is Nira," the alien said. "You must come with me. You need shelter and proper care." Milo nodded, leaning on her as she guided him through the glowing forest. Every step was cautious. Milo could not help but notice the small devices attached to her wrists. They emitted soft lights and scanned his body as they moved. He felt a flicker of unease. She was healing him, yes, but she was also studying him closely. "Where are we going?" Milo asked. "To a safe place," Nira replied calmly. "You need rest. You are injured." They walked for what felt like hours. The forest grew brighter, with streams of light flowing from the plants. Milo had never seen anything like it. Birds with crystal feathers flitted above, and strange insects hummed melodiously around them. Despite the beauty, Milo remained alert. He could not shake the feeling that something was not entirely right. Finally, they reached a structure built into the side of a hill. It was smooth and white, glowing faintly. The entrance opened as they approached, revealing a hallway filled with soft light. Milo could see other figures moving inside, some floating slightly above the ground, others tending to glowing instruments. "This is where you will heal," Nira said. She helped him inside and guided him to a room with a soft bed and glowing panels on the walls. Milo lay down, exhausted. Nira examined his injuries, her long fingers hovering over his body. "You are fortunate," she said. "Your body can recover, but you must rest." Milo closed his eyes. The pain in his arm began to fade, and the pounding in his head lessened. He felt safer than he had since the crash, but his mind was restless. He wondered why she was so careful, why her eyes seemed to study him with more curiosity than concern. As he drifted into a light sleep, Milo made a silent promise to himself. He would trust her for now because he had no choice. But he would watch carefully. The forest outside was beautiful and strange, but Nira's intentions, he realized, might be even more mysterious than the world itself. The soft hum of the facility and the glow of the alien lights became a lullaby. Milo drifted into dreams, feeling warmth from Nira's care. Yet deep inside, A small voice whispered that this was only the beginning of something far larger, something that would test his courage and his understanding of what it meant to be human in a universe full of unknowns. Milo woke to a soft light filling the room. His injuries felt much lighter, almost as if the pain had been erased. Nira stood beside him, her translucent skin glowing faintly in the warm light. "You slept well," she said, her voice calm and gentle. "Today you will learn more about this place." Milo sat up slowly. His arm still throbbed slightly, but he could move it now. "Where are we?" he asked. "This is our healing center," Nira replied. "It is a place where we treat injuries and sickness. You will find it different from your human hospitals." She guided him out of the room into a wide corridor. The walls were smooth and shimmering, filled with soft light that seemed to come from within. Machines floated above the floor, moving silently, scanning patients or carrying supplies. Milo's eyes widened. He had never seen anything like this. Other aliens moved about. Some were tall and thin, like Nira, while others had multiple arms or glowing patterns across their bodies. They all worked quietly, helping patients or tending to strange instruments. Milo noticed that many of the aliens' eyes were focused on him as he walked. He felt a shiver. Nero led him into a larger room. Several humans and aliens were there, some lying on beds, others sitting while small devices hovered around them. Milo realized that the humans looked curious, not afraid. Nero pointed to a chair that adjusted itself to his body. "Sit here," she said. "I will continue your treatment. You will feel better quickly." Milo hesitated but then sat. Nero moved her hands over his body, and soft beams of light touched his injuries. Warmth spread through him, and the pain in his arm vanished completely. He marveled at how fast and precise the healing was. "You are lucky," Nero said. "Human bodies recover quickly when treated properly." Milo nodded, but his curiosity grew stronger. He noticed tiny sensors on the walls, recording data from the treatments. He felt as though the entire facility was observing him, not just healing him. "Why are there so many sensors?" he asked. Nira smiled slightly. "We must understand the needs of each patient. Every being is different. Observation helps us heal better." Milo wondered if there was more to it. The way she looked at him sometimes made him uneasy. He decided to watch quietly, pretending to rest. After the treatment, Nira guided him to a small dining area. Strange, glowing food floated on plates, moving slowly toward him. He touched a piece, and it dissolved in his mouth, leaving a sweet, refreshing taste. It gave him energy without filling him completely. "You must eat and regain your strength," Nira said. "You will need it soon." Milo ate slowly, his eyes scanning the room. He noticed other humans talking quietly with aliens, exchanging knowledge and gestures. It seemed peaceful, but Milo could not shake the feeling that something important was hidden from him. Later, Nira took him to a hallway that branched off into many rooms. "These are the other wards," she explained. "Some patients are new like you, some are long-term. All need care." Milo glanced at one room and saw humans lying on beds while glowing devices floated above them, scanning and recording information. He felt a twinge of unease. Were they only patients, or subjects for study? "Do you trust me?" Nira asked suddenly. Milo looked at her carefully. "I have no choice," he said honestly. "But I am watching." Nira nodded. "That is wise. Observation is important for both of us." As the day passed, Milo explored more of the facility, still under Nira's careful watch. He saw laboratories filled with strange instruments, libraries of glowing scrolls, and rooms where aliens discussed treatments and biology. Everything was advanced beyond human technology, but Milo's mind worked quickly. He tried to understand as much as he could. By evening, Milo returned to his room, feeling tired but more aware. He realized that this place was not just a hospital. It was a center of knowledge, a place where healing and research were inseparable. And Nira, though kind, was clearly keeping secrets. Milo lay on the bed, thinking. He had been rescued and healed, but now he had to decide what to do next. Should he try to escape, or should he learn more about the aliens and their intentions? As he drifted to sleep, he made a decision. He would watch and learn, but he would not let anyone use him without understanding their purpose. Nira's true intentions were still unknown, but Milo knew one thing: this was only the beginning of his journey on this strange, glowing world. Milo woke early. The soft glow from the walls of his room made the forest outside appear even more mysterious. He stretched carefully, noting that his injuries were nearly gone. His arm moved freely, and his head no longer throbbed. Nira had healed him quickly, but something about her calm, careful manner still made him uneasy. He decided to explore the facility further while Nira was busy with other patients. Stepping quietly into the hallway, Milo noticed that many doors were closed or guarded by hovering devices. The glowing sensors followed him as he walked, making him realize the facility was always observing. Curiosity drove him toward a small door at the far end of the hall. Unlike the other doors, this one was only partially closed, and Milo noticed a faint blue light seeping through the crack. He pushed it gently and peeked inside. The room was filled with strange equipment, blinking softly. Holographic screens displayed detailed diagrams of human anatomy. Milo froze. His own body was on one of the screens, showing scans he did not remember being taken. Small floating devices hovered around, analyzing every detail. Suddenly, a voice echoed in the room. "You should not be here," Nira said, standing quietly behind him. Her expression was calm, but her eyes were serious. Milo turned, startled. I just wanted to see," he said. "Why are there so many scans of humans?" Nira sighed and stepped closer. "Our species is different from yours. We are trying to understand humans because your biology is unique. It can help us save lives." Milo frowned. "So, you're studying us? Are we like experiments to you?" Nira shook her head. "Not experiments. We heal and study at the same time. We learn to improve our treatments. Your species has abilities that we do not fully understand. Knowledge is necessary for survival." Milo studied her carefully. There was honesty in her voice, but he still felt uneasy. "So everything you did to me was part of learning?" "Partly," Nira admitted. "But also because you were injured. I could not let you suffer." Milo stepped back and looked around the room. Machines moved silently, scanning samples and recording information. He realized that the facility was not only a hospital but also a research center. Every patient was a source of knowledge, including him. "Why didn't you tell me?" Milo asked. "Why pretend?" Nira's gaze softened. "I worried you would not trust us if you knew everything at once. Sometimes, truth must be revealed slowly. I did not wish to harm you, Milo. I only wished to help." Milo considered her words. Her calmness seemed genuine, but he still felt conflicted. He had been hurt, rescued, healed, and studied all in a short time. Could he trust someone who had hidden the full truth? He decided to play along, at least for now. He needed to survive and understand this world. "I will watch and learn," he said finally. "But I need to know everything eventually." Nira nodded. "That is fair. Trust must grow with understanding. You are wise to say this." As Milo left the room, he noticed more details that he had not seen before. Devices on the walls recorded movement, speech, and even energy signatures. Rooms that seemed ordinary hid complex machinery and glowing containers. He realized that Nira's work was not simple healing. It was part of a larger effort to collect knowledge and improve her species' abilities. Back in the main corridor, Milo saw other humans interacting with aliens. They appeared calm, even curious, but he knew their experiences were likely similar to his own. Some were healed rapidly, others observed closely by devices. Milo began to understand the balance Nero maintained: care and study, safety and learning. Later, Nero found him in the common area. "You are exploring," she said with a small smile. "Yes," Milo admitted. "I need to know what is happening. I cannot just accept it blindly." "That is wise," she replied. "Curiosity is part of being human. It is why you survive in difficult situations." Milo nodded slowly. Despite his distrust, he could not ignore the truth in her words. Humans had survived and thrived because of curiosity, adaptability, and courage. Perhaps these qualities would help him navigate this strange world and understand Neera's intentions fully. As evening approached, Milo returned to his room. He reflected on the day's discoveries. The facility was more than a hospital. It was a place of learning, healing, and preparation. Neera had hidden some truths, but she had not harmed him. Perhaps her intentions were not fully selfish. Lying on his bed, Milo realized that he had entered a world far beyond human understanding. He had survived a crash, been rescued, and learned that trust was complicated in this alien place. But deep inside, a spark of determination grew. He would uncover the full truth, understand the purpose of the facility, and find his place in this strange world. The soft glow of the room reminded him that knowledge could heal, but it could also control. Milo knew that he needed to remain vigilant, but he also felt a cautious hope. Neera's intentions were still unclear, yet she had saved his life. Tomorrow, he decided, he would learn more, step by step, and discover the real reason behind the alien nurse's actions. Milo woke to the sound of distant alarms echoing through the facility. The soft glow of the corridors flickered as warning lights turned red. He sat up quickly, his heart racing. Something was wrong. Neera appeared almost immediately, her calm expression contrasting with the flashing lights. "Milo, stay close to me," she said. "There is a threat approaching the facility." Milo rose to his feet, suddenly alert. "What kind of threat?" he asked, his voice steady despite the tension. "Rogue aliens," Neera explained. "They do not follow our rules. They seek to take our research and harm anyone in the way." Milo's mind raced. He had thought of Neera as mysterious, even a little frightening, but now he saw her in a new light. She was brave and determined, willing to protect the facility and its people. Neera guided Milo through the corridors toward a large central room. The door slid open to reveal other aliens and humans preparing for the attack. Milo noticed defensive devices activating automatically. Lights formed protective barriers, and hovering drones moved into strategic positions. "You must help," Neera said. "Your knowledge of human problem-solving can be useful." Milo nodded. He understood that survival required teamwork. He quickly scanned the area and saw that some of the rogue aliens were already approaching the outer walls. Their shadows stretched long in the red glow of the sky. The first group of attackers broke through the forest line, moving swiftly. Neera raised her hands, and soft beams of light shot toward them, creating a shield that slowed their advance. Milo watched closely. Her movements were precise, almost as if she had trained for this moment all her life. Milo noticed a series of floating devices nearby. He had seen them during his earlier explorations and realized he could use them. He carefully adjusted the controls, redirecting energy to strengthen the barriers. The combination of human logic and alien technology slowed the attackers further. The rogue aliens tried to breach the facility from another entrance, but Neera was already there. She used a series of light pulses to immobilize them temporarily. Milo worked alongside her, thinking quickly and coordinating the floating devices to create a defensive pattern that the attackers could not penetrate. During the battle, Milo realized something important. Nira's actions were not selfish. She risked her safety to protect humans and aliens alike. Despite her earlier secrecy, she cared deeply about preserving life. The attackers retreated after several hours of careful defense. The facility had sustained minor damage, but no lives were lost. Milo and Nira stood together, exhausted but relieved. "You were brave," Nira said quietly, her glowing eyes meeting his. "You used your human skills well. I underestimated your abilities." Milo smiled faintly. "I learned from watching you. You are not just a healer. You are a protector." Nira shook her head slightly. "We protect life in many ways. Healing is one way. Defense is another. You have shown that humans can contribute in unexpected ways." Milo felt a new respect for Nira. She had pretended to heal him, but her intentions were more complicated than he had imagined. She was not his enemy. She was an ally, willing to face danger for the sake of others. After the attack, Milo and Nira walked through the corridors to inspect the facility. Milo noticed how efficiently the aliens repaired the damage. Small drones floated through the halls, restoring broken panels and recalibrating devices. The facility seemed alive, responding quickly to challenges. Nira paused and looked at Milo. "You have seen another side of our world," she said. "It is not only about healing and study. It is about protecting knowledge, life, and balance." Milo nodded. He realized that humans and aliens could learn from each other. His curiosity, bravery, and problem-solving skills had made a real difference. He felt a sense of pride, not arrogance, but confidence in the value of his abilities. That night, as Milo lay in his room, he reflected on the day's events. The rogue attack had been frightening, but it had also shown him that trust could grow even in unusual circumstances. Nira had risked everything, and he had contributed to the defense. They were learning to work together. Milo understood that this was only the beginning. Challenges would come again, and the mysteries of the facility were far from solved. But for the first time, he felt a sense of partnership with Nira. She was no longer just the alien nurse who healed him. She was an ally, someone whose intentions, though complex, were guided by courage and care. Milo drifted to sleep with a new determination. He would continue to learn, watch, and assist. He would uncover the full truth about the facility and Nira's work, but he would do it alongside her, not against her. Together, human ingenuity and alien knowledge could face any challenge. The next morning, Milo could feel a quiet tension in the facility. The attack had ended, but its effects lingered. Small repairs were being made, and aliens moved purposefully through the corridors. Milo noticed that Nira was more focused than ever, guiding the repairs while still caring for the patients. Milo wanted answers. He had learned that Nira's healing was precise, that she studied humans carefully, and that the facility was more than a hospital. But he still did not fully understand her intentions. He approached her while she adjusted the glowing devices in the main room. "Nira," he said cautiously, "I need to understand why you studied me and the other humans. There must be a reason." Nira looked at him, her large luminous eyes reflecting concern. "There is," she said softly. "I have been hesitant to explain. I worried you might not trust us, and you might try to leave before understanding." Milo nodded, urging her to continue. "Our species is in danger," Nira said. "A disease spreads through our population. It weakens us and threatens our survival. We do not yet have a cure. Studying humans has given us knowledge about biology that could help us create a treatment." Milo felt a mix of shock and understanding. He had suspected research, but he had not imagined the stakes were this high. "So all of your actions, the scanning, the studying, it was to save your people?" "Yes," Nira admitted. I acted carefully. I could not be certain how humans would respond, so I chose to heal first. To build trust. You were injured, and it was my duty to help you. At the same time, I needed to learn what I could. Milo considered her words. Her actions had seemed suspicious, but now he realized they were born of desperation, not malice. Nira had risked his trust because she feared the alternative, losing the chance to save her people. But why me? Milo asked. Why use humans at all? Humans are unique, Nira explained. Your biology adapts quickly, your problem-solving skills are exceptional, and your curiosity allows you to understand and respond to complex situations. These qualities are rare. We hope that learning from humans might give us a path to survival. Milo's mind raced. He faced a moral dilemma. He could help Nira and her species, potentially saving countless lives, but he also risked exposing humans to unknown consequences. Could he trust that Nira would not use the knowledge against humanity? He looked at her carefully. And you risked deceiving me, he said softly. Was that necessary? Nira nodded. I feared you might not cooperate if you knew everything at once. I hoped honesty would come after trust. I did not wish to harm you. I only wished to save lives. Milo remained silent for a moment, thinking. He realized that Nira's actions, while secretive, were guided by care and necessity. Her world was dying, and she had acted according to her values. Finally, Milo spoke. I will help you, he said firmly. But we must do this together, honestly. I need to know what is happening every step of the way. Nira's face brightened, and she reached out her hand. That is fair, Milo. Together, we can succeed. Together, we can save my people. Over the next hours, Milo and Nira began working side by side. Nira explained the alien disease in detail and showed Milo how their technology could analyze biological data. Milo shared his understanding of human biology and problem-solving methods. They discovered that combining human intuition with alien technology created solutions neither species could achieve alone. Milo suggested modifications to the devices, improving their accuracy and efficiency. Nira watched him with admiration. She had expected humans to be fragile and unpredictable, but Milo's courage, intelligence, and adaptability impressed her. As the day passed, they ran trial simulations. Milo's insights allowed Nira to identify the most promising treatment methods. Slowly, the pieces of the puzzle began to fit together. Hope grew in both of them. By evening, the first positive results appeared. The treatment seemed to counter the disease in controlled tests. Nira's relief was clear, but so was her exhaustion. Milo offered a hand to support her as she walked through the glowing hallways. You were right to trust humans, Nira said quietly. Your courage and knowledge are remarkable. Milo smiled faintly. And you were right to protect your people. I understand now. Sometimes, survival requires difficult choices. As Milo returned to his room that night, he reflected on the day. He had faced a moral challenge and made a choice to help. He had learned that trust could grow even in complex situations, and that cooperation between humans and aliens could achieve incredible results. Milo lay on the bed, feeling a cautious hope. Nira's deception had been born of necessity, but their honesty now formed a strong foundation. He knew the coming days would bring new challenges, but he was ready. Together, human ingenuity and alien knowledge could face the unknown, and perhaps, save an entire species. The facility was quiet in the early morning, but Milo could feel the tension lingering from the previous days. Nira moved through the glowing corridors with purpose, checking devices and guiding other aliens. Milo followed, ready to assist. The treatment for the alien disease had shown promise, but it was still far from complete. Today we test the next stage, Nira said, her voice calm but firm. The disease is strong, and our cure must be stronger. We need your help, Milo. Milo nodded. He had learned much from observing her work, but now it was his turn to contribute directly. They entered a large laboratory filled with floating devices and glowing panels. Alien and human data streams intersected in the air like threads of light, forming a complex map of biology and energy. Nira explained the process. We combine human knowledge with alien technology. Your intuition is crucial, Milo. You will guide me where the devices cannot reach alone. Milo concentrated. He suggested adjustments to the energy flows and the scanning patterns, using logic and trial and error. Each time he proposed a change, Nira applied it carefully, watching the results. Slowly, the data began to stabilize. The treatment became more precise. Hours passed. Milo and Nira worked tirelessly. Machines hummed, lights pulsed, and soft beeps filled the air. The facility seemed alive, responding to every decision they made. Milo noticed how the aliens moved in harmony with the devices, while he contributed ideas that no alien could have predicted. During one test, a sudden warning flashed on a screen. Sabotage detected, Nira said, her voice tense. Someone is interfering with the treatment. Milo's heart raced. Who could do this? I do not know, Nira admitted. But we must act quickly. The rogue faction may have returned, hoping to stop our work. Together, they moved to secure the laboratory. Milo suggested a human method of distraction, using energy pulses to redirect the rogue devices while simultaneously locking down the main control panels. Nira followed his plan carefully. The rogue interference was blocked, and the treatment process stabilized. You think quickly under pressure, Nira said, her eyes reflecting admiration. Your human skills are valuable in ways I did not fully understand. Milo smiled faintly. I have learned from watching you, Nira. Together, we can protect the treatment and save lives. They continued their work, adjusting the treatment, analyzing results, and refining methods. Each success gave them hope. Milo felt a growing sense of confidence. Human ingenuity, combined with alien technology, was creating solutions that neither species could achieve alone. Later, Nira guided Milo to a room where several alien patients had been isolated for the treatment trials. Milo observed carefully. The energy fields and devices responded to the treatment, stabilizing the patient's conditions. He could see the disease weakening, the alien's strength returning. This is remarkable, Milo said quietly. The treatment is working better than I expected. Nira nodded. It is your input that makes it possible. Humans have the ability to adapt, to find solutions when others cannot. That is why I needed your help. Milo felt a surge of pride, not from ego, but from understanding his value. Humans were fragile compared to aliens in many ways, but their courage, curiosity, and problem-solving abilities were powerful tools. He had survived a crash, learned an alien culture, and now contributed to saving an entire species. As the sunlight glow of the facility shifted to evening, Milo and Nira reviewed the day's work. The treatment had stabilized further, and patient responses were positive. They had overcome sabotage, refined the cure, and strengthened their bond as allies. You have done more than I hoped, Nira said softly. Humans are truly remarkable. Milo smiled. And you are remarkable too, Nira. You risked everything to protect your people. Together, we can face whatever comes next. That night, Milo reflected on the events of the day. He had been injured, healed, deceived, and trusted. He had witnessed courage, ingenuity, and cooperation. The HFY principle was clear: humans, even alone on a strange planet, could adapt, think, and contribute in ways no one could ignore. Milo felt a deep sense of purpose. He would continue to work with Nira, to learn, to guide, and to ensure the treatment succeeded. Together, human intelligence and alien knowledge were stronger than any obstacle. As he lay down to rest, Milo understood something important. Strength was not only in power or technology. It was in courage, creativity, and the willingness to act when it mattered most. Nira had taught him that, and he had taught her that humans could make a difference, even in a world far from Earth. The soft hum of the facility filled the room as Milo drifted to sleep, ready for the next step, finishing the cure and securing a future for an entire species. The facility was bright with a soft, warm glow as Milo and Nira worked through the last stages of the treatment. The alien disease that had threatened her species was nearly gone. Patients who had been weak and sick were now moving with strength and energy. Milo felt a deep sense of satisfaction. Their combined efforts had succeeded. Nira turned to him, her luminous eyes filled with gratitude. "We have done it," she said softly. "The disease is cured. Your help made this possible, Milo. I cannot thank you enough." Milo shook his head. "No, Nira. We did it together. Your knowledge, your courage, and your care saved these lives. I only guided where I could." They walked through the facility together, observing the aliens celebrating quietly. There was a new energy in the halls. Devices floated and hummed in harmony, patients moved freely, and small groups of aliens shared smiles and gestures of relief. Milo realized how fragile and strong life could be at the same time. "I have something for you," Nira said as they reached the main room. She held out a small device that glowed faintly. "This can help humans advance medicine. It is a gift and a symbol of trust." Milo took the device carefully. "I will use it wisely," he said. "Thank you, Nira." She smiled, a mixture of warmth and solemnity. "Remember, Milo, trust and cooperation can overcome even the greatest challenges. Humans have courage and creativity that can change worlds." Milo nodded, reflecting on the journey. He had arrived on this planet injured and alone. He had been healed, deceived, tested, and guided. He had faced moral dilemmas and dangers, but he had also discovered that humans could make a real difference, even far from Earth. As they walked toward the ship that would take him home, Milo glanced back at the facility. It was no longer just a place of healing and research. It was a place where understanding, trust, and courage had grown. He had learned much about alien technology, about Nira, and about himself. "You have changed my life, Nira," Milo said quietly. "And I hope humans can learn from your work too." Nira placed her hand gently on his shoulder. "And you have changed mine, Milo. Your courage, your mind, and your heart remind us that life is valuable in all forms. Humans and aliens can learn from each other." Milo boarded his ship, feeling a mix of excitement and melancholy. The journey home would be long, but he carried something far more important than distance or speed. He carried knowledge, trust, and the proof that humans could contribute in ways that no one could have imagined. The engines of his ship roared to life, lifting him gently off the planet. Milo looked down one last time. Nira and the facility glowed softly in the distance. He knew he had witnessed something extraordinary, something that would stay with him forever. As the ship moved through the red skies and into the darkness of space, Milo reflected on the lessons he had learned. Trust could be fragile, but it could also grow strong when paired with honesty and courage. Knowledge could heal, but it could also be used carefully to protect life. And humans, no matter how small or far from home, had the power to think, adapt, and make a difference. He held the small device from Nira carefully, feeling the weight of responsibility. This was more than technology. It was a symbol of cooperation between species, a reminder that humans could contribute to the universe in ways that mattered. Milo closed his eyes for a moment, thinking of Nira. He realized that first impressions could be misleading, that trust might come slowly, and that understanding others required patience and courage. He had learned to balance caution with hope, and fear with action. The stars stretched before him, endless and bright. Milo felt a new confidence. Humans were capable of surviving, learning, and thriving even in the most alien circumstances. He had seen it firsthand. And now, he carried that knowledge home, ready to share it, ready to apply it, ready to face whatever challenges awaited. As the ship disappeared into the vastness of space, Milo smiled. He had survived the unknown, learned from it, and contributed to saving a species. He knew one truth clearly: human courage, intelligence, and compassion could shine even in the darkest corners of the universe. And with that, Milo set his course for home, carrying hope, knowledge, and the proof that humans could make a difference anywhere, even on a planet far beyond their own.